Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. I'm so grateful that you guys are watching, subscribing, listening to me from wherever you're listening to me from. I hope that you guys are doing amazing and you're having a great day. And in this video, I want to speak to you guys about one of the ideas that was presented to me recently, I think through an Instagram meme. I don't actually remember, but I thought it was so fascinating that I really wanted to share it with you guys. Now, as I've said to you guys, one of the biggest questions that I get asked by all INFJs is their confusion of whether they're an INFJ or an INFP. And all of them message me all the time saying, but I'm not sure if I'm an INFJ or an INFP. Sometimes I come up as INFP, sometimes I come up as INFJ, and so that confusion really builds up for a lot of people. I used to tell these people that if you're confused about being an INFJ, you're probably one, because no other type kind of goes through all of these thoughts over and over again. Am I an INFJ? Am I an INFP? No one else cares about this stuff except for us. We really, really, really want to be sure about it because it matters so much to us. Because for the first time in our life, we're sure that we actually belong to a group, and so we're like, oh my god, is this really true? Can this really be true? Can I really be part of this group? And so we really confuse ourselves by going through these thought processes and overthinking and stressing ourselves, right? Recently, I read that an INFJ is an INFJ or behaves like an INFJ when they are relaxed, well rested, and not stressed, right? So when they're happy and everything's going well and all their relationships are in harmony, or when they feel good about themselves and they feel at peace or content with their life, then they behave like an INFJ. But if you are stressed and if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not eating enough, you're not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep, if you have some kind of disharmony in your life, if something's going wrong in your life that's causing you a lot of stress, and I mean a lot of stress, not just minor stresses during the day, but actual stress, then you're going to start behaving like an INFP. And I thought that was so fascinating that, different types will behave differently depending on the different stresses upon their life and upon their mental state, obviously. That makes a lot of sense to me, because a lot of people who message me saying that they're confused about being an INFJ versus an INFP, a lot of them are not in necessarily a healthy state of mind. I'm not saying that they're, crazy, obviously, but they are stressed out, or they're upset about something, or they feel disharmony in their life, or they feel uncomfortable with themselves, or they hate themselves, or they have some kind of something going on there, right? And so this is a really interesting way of looking at that idea. Now, if you are one of those people who's confused about the fact that if you're an INFJ or not, as I said, if you are wondering about it, you're probably one. If you're wondering about it, thinking about it, putting yourself into a crazy spiral because of it, then you're probably an INFJ, because no other type, as I said, will do that. But if you want further proof of this, think about it this way, as I said. If you are feeling stressed, then you're probably going to behave like an INFP. So think about it for yourself. Are you feeling stress? Are you feeling some kind of major stress because of school, or because of family, or because of a recent door slam, or a divorce, or a job, whatever it might be? Like is something going on in your life that's causing you major stresses? If it is, then you're probably going to start behaving like an INFP. Now, why is that the case? Why do we behave like INFPs when we're stressed and as INFJs when we're not? And this is just my explanation of it from my perspective. Again, as I've said, I'm not an expert in all this stuff. These are just my opinions on the matter. I spend a lot of time sitting and journaling and self-reflecting and thinking about these ideas before I speak on camera. And so these are just my pontifications, right? Just me pontificating on it. It's not gospel. It's not written in stone somewhere. It's just my ideas. So it might be true, it might not be true for you. And the reason I think why we behave like INFPs when we're stressed is because when we're stressed, we just kind of lose perspective. We get so anxious and we start overthinking about everything. When we're not stressed, everything seems really easy. Our introverted intuition works really, really well, and we're able to see everything very clearly. We're able to use our senses and our functions in the right order and the right quantity. We don't let extroverted sensing or one other lower function take over all of our emotions and all of our ideas and goals. When we are stressed, then we are focused all on the outside. We don't really actually take care of ourselves at all. We're not taking care of our sleep habits. We're not eating properly, and we're not sleeping properly. We're not taking care of anything. We're not drinking enough water. We're not doing anything that really takes care of our bodies or our minds. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm so terrible at these videos sometimes. So we don't take care of ourselves, right? When we don't take care of ourselves, especially physically, we lose sight of the fact that we are not just a mind, guys. We're not just this part, but we are a body as well. When we forget that, as I said, we stop taking care of ourselves. We spend way too much time in our head analyzing everything, thinking about everything, and not doing anything, right? When we're not doing anything about anything, we'll just spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in our head thinking about things, analyzing them, and then overthinking about it over and over again, right? That's all we do with it. We don't actually take any actions on it. When we're not stressed and we feel relaxed about everything, we'll actually think about things and be like, oh, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. Let me go do it. Or let me put it on my to-do list and then do it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It works out a little bit better. It works out more smoother. We're doing it in a way where we don't spend too much time in our head. We spend more time in the real world. Actually, as I said, taking care of ourselves and then taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. For example, if your driver's license is expiring, if you are stressed and if you're behaving like an INFP, instead of actually putting it on your list and going out and doing the paperwork and getting it renewed, which is basically the 3 steps to get it done as an INFJ, really simple. Instead of that, you're going to think about it and you're going to analyze it. You're going to think, is today the right day to do it? Tomorrow? Should I go this week? Should I go next week? Do I have the car? Can I get the car? Can I take the subway? Is it on the subway line? We'll spend a lot of time thinking about it and wondering about it, procrastinating about it, and not actually doing it, right? Which is what INFPs do. INFPs are really, really creative, brilliant creatures. I have a bunch of friends who are INFPs, but they never actually get anything done. I love them to death. I mean, they have brilliant ideas. I'll talk to them and I'll feel like the world is my oyster and I can do anything in the world. I can put all of these ideas into effect. And I'll look at them and they have all these amazing ideas they're going to put into effect. And I'll come back the next week or the 2 weeks after and I'll meet them again and I'll have put some of those ideas that I had into effect. And I'll talk to them and they're already on to the next set of ideas and they have not at all taken any action on the ideas they had last week or the week before. It was as if they never existed, right? That's how we behave when we are stressed, right? So we don't actually put anything into our to-do list. We don't even think about to-do lists. We don't even write anything down. We don't actually get anything done. We don't go out and make things happen. If we wanted to be a YouTuber, if we were behaving like an INFP, we'll just talk about being a YouTuber. We don't actually go and record any videos. If you're an INFJ though, and if you are not stressed and if you're behaving like an INFJ, you're going to put it on your list. You're going to be like, okay, today I'm going to record a video. And you're going to do it. You're going to actually record it. And then you're going to put it out there. Because that's as simple as that. If you're not stressed, as I said. But if you are, you're going to have a harder time with it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. The reason I wanted to share this with you guys is because this is a really good clue into where you are in your mind space. As I've said before, we have a really hard time connecting with our bodies. Our mind-body connection is really diluted. It doesn't work well sometimes. We spend too much time here and not enough time in our bodies. That's one of the reasons I recommend meditation to you guys, especially the body scan meditation, because it really brings you into your body. I do that at least once a day in order to come back into my body. Because I forget that I am a body and I'll just work and forget that I have to eat and drink water and all that stuff, right? So, but as I said, it's a really good clue into who we are and how are we behaving. So if you're finding yourself not getting stuff done, if you're procrastinating on things, if you're delaying things, if you're overthinking things, if you're feeling stressed, then all of that will make you behave like an INFP. And that's a really good clue, which means that you can start taking care of yourself again. You can realize, okay, I'm behaving like an INFP right now. That means that I'm stressed. That means I need to take care of myself better. And I need to come back into my body. And then I need to get back into becoming an INFJ. Now, some of the times you'll be able to do that. Some of the times your stresses are not that big. And you'll be able to pull yourself back into your INFJ self, your true self. Sometimes maybe your stresses are too big. And maybe it'll be a few months before you can come back into your true INFJ self.
As long as you know where you are, it's knowledge. Knowledge is power, guys. And as soon as you know where you are and why you're behaving the way you're behaving, you can make changes about it. But if you don't, then obviously you can't do anything about it, right? You can just sit there and overthink your way into hell. I don't want you guys to do that. I don't want you guys to overthink into oblivion. It's such a waste of time. I've done it before. I've done it many times before. Instead of actually getting stuff done, I'll sit on my bed under the covers and think and think and think and think and think and not actually get anything done. And it's so tiring. It's mentally and physically, spiritually exhausting. I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to, as soon as possible, pull yourself back from that madness and get back into your true INFJ self of getting stuff done, putting it on your list and getting it done. Not procrastinating, but getting shit done. Again, I hope that I was able to explain to you guys what I was talking about properly. Sometimes I do have ideas in my head and I think to myself, oh, this sounds like a brilliant idea. I'm going to have a brilliant video on it. And then I speak and then blah, gibberish comes out. Anyways, again, I hope that made sense. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. If you guys have any future video suggestions, let me know as well. And if you guys are listening to me on my podcast, I'm really grateful. I really, really appreciate it. I have a new podcast, by the way. It's called the INFJ Whisperer. So if you haven't checked it out, all of my videos on YouTube are being converted into the podcast. So do check it out if you have the chance or the time. Again, I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.